Hello, I'm Joanne Turner reporting for Total Telecom, and we're here at the Huawei Global MBB Forum in Hong Kong, and I'm talking to Patrick Gauthier from Amazon Payments. Patrick, welcome. Now, viewers out there will know the Amazon brand, but they may not know the Amazon Payments brand, so perhaps you can tell us a little bit about the brand itself.
Amazon is in the business of helping merchants, big and small, in a variety of functions, and with Amazon Payment we're doing that. We're enabling consumers to use their Amazon account to buy from another merchant directly on that merchant site. And the way it appears is on that merchant site at checkout, a button would appear that says Pay with Amazon. The consumer clicks on that button, enters their Amazon credential, and then the shipping address is served to the merchant and we process the payment. The purpose of doing this is to help merchants really create an environment which is familiar to the Amazon customer. The Amazon customer, 294 million of them around the world, they shop regularly with Amazon, so we're really projecting that familiarity.
Okay, and obviously there's a lot of online stuff there, so how is cellular networks playing a part in the Amazon Payments business?
So a tremendous amount of our transactions happen on mobile devices. It's actually growing about twice as fast as desktop transactions. Today it's about 30% and continues to grow. And so everything that ties into the mobile environment is really important for us because it will translate into ultimately what constitutes the right consumer experience. And that's really what we're after. So how do we remove friction from the consumer experience? Because it's good for the merchant, it's good for the consumer, it's also good for our brand.
Okay, so what improvements do we need to see in the cellular networks as we move forward?
There are a couple of things that we actually are looking very much forward to. Commerce is quintessentially human. And often it's dehumanized, it's made into numbers, and we really look for ways to make commerce human again, personal again. And so when it comes to the cellular networks, there are a number of things that could happen. The use of really rich media, high quality audio, really can make the interaction of the consumer with the merchant a much better one. Amazon as a retailer is starting to use video. Second, the capacity to identify the consumer in a very precise way, which really happens when we're able to match data from Amazon, from the network, from the merchant, in order to say, this person that is shopping right now is really Patrick. What is Patrick like? Oh, Patrick prefers English as his language. Patrick prefers products having to do with the outdoors. Let's make sure that this is what is presented to Patrick first to make this experience centered around Patrick, not a bland one.
Okay, so putting the customer first and that customer-centric approach is really important.
Yeah, at Amazon, everything starts with the customer. Jeff Bezos built the business around it. He's always made it a central principle of how we run the business. Start with the customer, solve a customer need, and then the business will flow in of itself. Sometimes it leads to counterintuitive conclusions. For instance, Amazon started as a retail site and then evolved into a marketplace, which meant that we were bringing other merchants onto our site, competing with our own business. The reason for doing that was because it was good for the customer. And it certainly shows in the numbers. The reason why Amazon has grown this way is by always putting the needs of the customer first.
Okay, so what sort of relationships now need to be built with operators to help these progress into the future?
We're still in the early stage of some of those, partly because we are further up in the stack, you might say. But on the consumer side, there's a number of things that can be done to make it easier for consumers to start a relationship. When you change your phone, you have to re-enter all these information. That's not particularly customer-friendly way. So there's life cycle components that we can resolve. But also on the merchant side, merchants, what they first and foremost do is they sell things. Well, sometimes we forget that they're not in the business of deploying technology. They're in the business of selling things. And so Every time we can have partnerships with complementary providers that will provide a more complete solution to merchants, especially small and medium merchants, then we help them focus on their business, focus on their customers, and that's usually a good recipe for growth.
Okay, and how important are events like the MBB Forum to progress things going forward?
I think this forum was really interesting, and in particular bringing together both technology providers, network providers, as well as application providers. I thought there were in particular this afternoon some of the conversation related to how to use 5G were very much eye-opening. To me, it really was a lot of thought starters about what can we do, how should we look at the future in terms of a richer and more personal customer experience. And forums like this are really invaluable in terms of the content as well as the relationships that we can build with other companies and other people.
Patrick, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.